And welcome back everybody to Tonight. I'm Production. Today I'm here with you in our Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. I haven't played this game since September 29th is according to Steam. But I'm going to continue trying to play it. Pretty much I know I've had a long pause from this, really a long pause from quite a lot. Long story short, pretty much end of September, had a few changes come up in my life, which some of it included work, made me a little bit more exhausted and less available to play and all that, so I had just kind of less time and energy to, and then didn't really help between those times. I was also just about getting sick, and then by the time I started to get over that, it was Thanksgiving, and then from there I'd already had a few other things going on, needed to take care of, and then Christmas came. And of course, between Christmas and New Year's, I'm on vacation. Normally I do a lot of recording, and I did. There is something that we have already since, actually two things we've since recorded. Then one of them has already started uploading. By the time this is going up, we'll probably already have both of them going and uploaded. I know one of them is going to be uploading till February or so, and this one here is, sorry, the other one is going to be, let me just go ahead and load in. Hold up now. Hold up. Why is there a chapter 2? Yeah, we'll choose. What? That one was an 831 and this one was a 929, but this one has less time than that one. No, it doesn't. Something don't add up. That says 1428 and this one says 27, but the playtime on the bottom, this right here shows 3 more hours actually. So I'm gonna do some things there look messed up, but okay. The game did not want to open correctly. I can tell you that. Whee! Just act. Oh, that finished downloading. Really didn't think it would download that quick. I was downloading something else I wanted to give a shot. Might make a video on it, might not. But like I was saying, oh, it still is dead. That's why it looks messed up. Okay, where am I? What am I doing? I am using my controller, not that. Not that. Racer notebook. Ain't nothing there. Find prototype is what's... So that's festival. We should wrap up any unfinished business before heading out. Okay, sure. Find the prototype. Gonna pay a little bit of money. Lost my orbital prototype along the in Castaway. I think I dropped it when I was attacked by monsters along the way. If you happen to find it, please bring it to Joanne Arms and Guards. Okay, so that right there is Castaway, and that's where I'm at, ain't it? No. It's not. Okay. Let me figure out what I'm doing before I keep going. So... I can't get to that. I found it, I just haven't got it. That right there is, where does this actually take me? Where am I going? There's people here. Oh. Okay, I should be heading back. This is where I had the fight with the Duke, I do believe. It's been since September since I've played this. So I need to make my way back. Well, no, pretty much a few things have changed. We've got one thing, like I said, one thing we've recorded is something me and Alex recorded every year. Or try to and seem to. They don't always get uploaded, but this year it is. In fact, we've already got them all uploaded. They're just ready to be scheduled. We haven't done that quite yet. I haven't been in another one of these towers hardly. I think I did that one though. I think I rushed through that one actually. But it's actually all uploaded. It's just ready to be scheduled. It's even already got the playlist created. I've also recently reworked some of the other playlists that I had involving the same series where I just had them all crushed into one. I didn't like that, so I split them up into their own separate playlists, which really had a lot less than I thought it would at any point. I honestly thought that I would have more in each one. Yeah, I need to heal. Because I really thought I had like maybe 2 or 3 games in one of them and like 2 in the other, and I did not. So just a handful of episodes that some of them aren't even finished. One of them I know is finished. Pretty sure is, in fact, that might be the only one that is uploaded. So what do I need to do? Nope. So this one. And turn east at the fork for the roll. We should wrap up any unfinished business before heading out. Okay, so it is an unexpected turn of events. We will be acting in a play at the Academy's festival. It's a rather strange job, to be sure, but the children of the orphanage are quite looking forward to it. Okay, so I guess go to the Royal Academy. Okay. No, that's this way. No, I'm actually quite excited to have what's not published yet, but is, or not scheduled yet, but it's up. I'm actually quite happy or excited to have it up. There's a forest here. I can't say I've seen you before. You don't seem to move. Sneak attack. Not a sneak attack. Got it. I don't like how you look, so I'm going to attack you first. Good, I'm happy I got that actually. Because that would allow me to go ahead and take you out. What? Oh, what was their deal? They petrified me. Oh, yes. I really don't want you to have that status. I don't really do a lot of damage to y'all. Art. No. Airstrike. I don't want to use a lot of magic on you. I'll hit you, why not? Oh, so now you hit. Could have saved energy.
Alright, we're good to go.
Savory Pitten 2. Savory Pittons. That's a climbing thing, if I remember correctly, involving D&D. Alright, so. I know I'm kind of I'm tapping the speed up. No, I don't need to run from it, because if I do, I'm going to have a bad time, because then it's going to get a sneak attack on me. Oh my god, I got the first hit. It poisoned me, those bitches. What? Can't even hit them. How dare they? Arts, you have, honestly, yeah. Oh. Feel max guard. These things just hate women. Bitch out. They're not really doing a lot of damage though. No. I'm just gonna move over here actually. Yep.
Nicely done.
I think I'm doing fine. Try not to get underleveled if I remember correctly. Getting underleveled is kind of a death sentence, as I learned once in this game already. A lot of things in this route just don't move very much, do they? Run in circles. Now, one thing I could do. Is the right one? So many things are kind of ugly. What I wanted to remember is these. Pray. Difficult to hit. Only attacks females. Okay, there's that one. That was not the other one I'm looking for. What's the bird? That thing. That's what. It is an insect monster from the forest. Its wings shed petrifying scales and may call for backup. Okay. And I don't know what I was just fighting, so. I don't want to fight the killer emus. Though I really should, honestly. Because I'm losing all kinds of, Okay, so it don't matter. Losing all kinds of potential EXP. What is the name of this road? Vista's Forest, that's what it is. Have I attacked? I don't really have any information on the big one. I just that they exist. Oh, well, they could stun you.
We're good to go.
Did I learn something? I did. Charges knock you right out. Okay, yeah. Not that bad. Ah, wrong button. It's trying to speed up. This isn't emulated either. Like, I mean, technically they're emulating it on Steam themselves as it is, but it's not actually emulated. This is like a official release exactly like this, and it happens to have a speed up button. Weird. But it is a remake of a much older game. I really didn't think there'd be a whole route between there and here. Campus festival soon. Oh, I'm sorry, or listening to me drink. Ah. So Alex celebrated his birthday this year. And I guess he had a good birthday. Could have been better. Kind of didn't let him have his way 100% on his birthday. But that's understandable. He was a little upset, I'm sure. Alright, so. Probably this building, honestly. Well, that says the schoolhouse. Dean's office. Knock, knock. So I hope everybody has been doing good. Still wish I could stream games from my house. I just don't have the internet to do it. If I did, however, I would honestly just be streaming this. It'd be a lot easier for me to do than what I'm doing now. can't remember who did the fire or anything about it, honestly. Sorry, I'm like multitasking right now, doing 2 other things, and it is making it a little hard for this. I'm sorry. That's not very good, not super, professional and things like that. But when you're in my situation and all that, in some cases, it's easier just to not be, honestly. So, let's see. Lava lamp's not lavaing quite yet. It's a little puffy over there. Maybe my lava lamp will be nice and lavy soon. Oh, so one thing I'm actually quite... Ooh. See, class is out. Do I get to go home now? Please, let me go home. I don't want to be back in school. So one thing I am excited about one of the September videos we did is Alex made, he pulled a thumbnail for it. And I took his thumbnail and made a custom one for my parts. Because we each recorded it and each uploaded it, so we kind of got a back and forth video going on. Not all in one video, it's like, I run in circles. Where one is his, one is not his kind of deal. Like one is mine. Student council room on the 2nd floor of the clubhouse. Okay. But I'm actually quite happy with the one I made. Not like fancy or anything. I'm just actually happy that I did it. Food? I see food. I see food. Buy. Vegetable sandwiches. For the health conditions. I like it. I can't get rid of nothing. That would be a waste. What if I need it later? The fact that I can walk in this one... Oh, so I can walk in this one? No. The dormitory is one... This is the fucking locker room. Why is this available? What did they say? Okay. Student council room. At least the music here is nice. got me a new controller a few weeks back. I wasn't 100% sure if it was the problem on why I couldn't use wireless on this computer for a while, and I'm still not really 100% sure. Like, I've made a few other changes. I've actually updated the firmware on this one. I found out you actually have to update firmware on Xbox controllers apparently, which I did not know. Like, kind of figured there was something, but I didn't know I really, like, it was truly actually a thing. So, but the one I got, it's one of the Elite Series 2s. Absolutely love it. Take my joystick off, hand it to somebody, and just like, here, hold this. Which I've done that like 3 times now, I think. I find it enjoyable. Like, I was like, did you just pull your joystick off? Maybe. I find it neat. Does this thing come with extras? I know it comes with extra of everything else. What about? Yeah, this bitch comes with like 4 extra joysticks. Comes with 2 other of a slightly different design. It's actually more closer to my red controller's design. So my red controller I think used to be the same design as the one I'm using. And it has another one just like these and then a domed over one, which I'm not a big fan of the domed. And I probably will have to charge this controller eventually soon. But it is what it is. So, but got one of them. I'm currently using it wirelessly without really any issues. I had a lot of issues in it. Not at all. Well, my red one, it's like every few minutes it disconnects. And I have to wait for it to reconnect. Sometimes it doesn't reconnect and it's just a problem. So, there's one thing after another honestly with them, but it's not that big a deal. I like them. I mainly use the Xbox controllers. I know there's other controllers that are probably better, but I like using these because they just automatically work with the Windows computer. You don't have to sit there and worry about anything else. It all just works. So that is one thing that I find extremely useful and nice about them. I have also been thinking about building another computer. Kind of had it somewhat priced out yesterday. I didn't include a case for it because I already have a really big case. So I really wouldn't need a case, but I don't like the USB options on this case, so I might get another case. I might not. But I like this case because it has my disk drive in it that I put in it. It's just one of those things. If I don't use this case, I would have to have a case with plenty of front USB because I like having my front USB. I mean, I say plenty. I really just need. I want to have more than just 2, pretty much. Like, I only had 2 to start with, so I put in a USB extension card, which allows me to put in even more. Allowed me to hook up my controllers as I need to and have more than more than 2 controllers and a USB plugged in. Plus, this one didn't have a USB-C on it, which didn't really have a use for, but I went on the USB card I put in has a USB-C. So, and of course, there's a front I/O card, not a back, so it takes up a expansion slot where a disk drive would go, pretty much, which is kind of nice actually because it's super easy to get to. And it also has the SD card slots and all that I didn't have before, which I do use. Not necessarily for camera stuff. I mean, yeah, for camera stuff, but not like recording camera stuff. It's for surveillance cameras for my job of like my line of work and all that. So I use that kind of stuff. Use it to put photos onto, say, my security panel, which doubles as a photo frame. Little things like that. So I've thought about it, but I'm probably gonna brace it with a case, just because I would like to have a different case. I don't want to gut this case out, put a whole different computer, and then have boards laying around. I'd rather them stay in the case where they're somewhat protected and not in quite a vulnerable situation. There was a few things, even though I priced it, I didn't really check everything I need to. I didn't check to make sure there's enough connections for all my data drives, like my hard drives and all that, because I've got 4 of them in this computer. Is it 4? Games, programs, Windows, and recording. Yeah, 4 hard drives in this computer. And it adds up to like 12 terabytes of data, which I know some people say that's nothing. Some people's like, what the hell are you using that for? I'm like, I'm using 12 terabytes. It ain't full, don't get me wrong. It ain't nowhere near full. I don't want to run out, is what it is. I've got 2 terabytes for Windows alone, just for Windows. I don't have hardly anything installed on it except for software that won't install in other places. That includes like iTunes and all that for my phone, and really I store all my music through there too. Haven't always had an iPhone. I've swapped between iPhone and Samsungs and a few other Androids before, and I've always come back to the iPhones, just personal preference. I'm not saying iPhones are better in any way, because for example, Alex uses Android. I mean, it's not bad. It don't do quite all the stuff mine could do, but his does stuff mine can't do, for example. I say that's not 100% true. Mine could do everything his could do just as well. Most people say, oh, well, you can't emulate games by... Oh, yes, you can emulate games on iPhone. You just gotta not be an idiot. No, okay, that's not the nicest way to say it. You can emulate apps or games on iPhone, such as PlayStation, Game Boy, Nintendo, 64, or maybe not 64, but Nintendo games, all that. Of course, I always use Game Boy and Game Boy Color games and Game Boy Advance games because that's what I like to play on mobile. That's what I like to play in handheld. Don't really have much of a need to emulate them anymore, so I actually got a Game Boy. And a lot of the games I wanted to play anyway on Game Boy, like an actual Game Boy as well as a 3DS and all that, so I don't really have a need to emulate them anymore. But it can be done. I've done it. I still got a working emulator on my phone now. All I got to do is download an ISO. I can play it and save it on my phone without any problems. Works actually really well. Gibbles, what are you looking at? No one there, Gibbles. It's just a washing machine. But it, I know I really probably should be paying attention to this conversation that's happening on screen. I'm really not. So... Yeah, because in sexual discrimination, be free of gender roles. Yeah, okay. But let me just get back to my conversation. They can continue talking. Of course, if you want to see what they're saying, just pause the video, read it, and you can come back to mine if you like or not. I really wish I could do all the reading for you. I really do. I just can't. It would pretty much make me not want to play this game again for a very long time. I can't handle it. It's more of a mental disability thing. I really can't read out loud hardly, and when I do, it hurts. And a lot of the reading also is hard for me. That's because of how my head works, and a bunch of other stuff is just not the easiest for me. But completely lost my train of thought of what I was saying. Oh yeah. I was talking about the computer. About the front. Oh yeah, I've like for the Windows drive, I really just have iTunes and a few other programs that have to be on it. Drivers, of course, are on that hard drive because all drivers need to be run along with Windows, not with on another hard drive. It needs to be on the Windows drive because that's where we'll have the fastest access to it. And it's also the only SSD in my computer. Everything else is actually long-term storage. For a degree, like for instance, my game hard drive is an HDD or a hard disk drive. It's got spinning platters in it, like the old style hard drives that last tremendously longer, in a way. Yes, I know SSDs have come a long way and have a tremendous lifetime now, but they just don't stand up the same to an HDD. Sorry, to an HHD. No, HDD hard disk drive. Yeah, because on a SSD, there is a finite number of times that you could read and write to them. It's guaranteed this is the number that they're going to do, and that's all they'll ever do. So after it hits a certain number, it just goes to read-only mode. When HDD doesn't do that. In HDD, you could write over it for a very long amount of time, sometimes longer or less than the expected time. But that aside, it's still a tremendous amount of time. Trade-off is it's slower by a lot. For what I'm doing, slowness is fine. For instance, my recording drive is actually a slower hard drive than any other drive that I have. Reason being is it's a recording drive. It don't have to be fast. It doesn't cause any problems because everything in any recorded video is saved in RAM while it's being written to the hard drive. It's a surveillance drive is what I put in there. They're slow. Not as slow as NAS drives, but they are slow. But they last for a very, very long amount of time. They're made to be written to a lot. We use them in our DVRs for that reason. But then my other drives aren't special, honestly. They're just standard drives. One of them is my game drive. It has my games in them. It could be a little faster, but I don't want to spend the money on a faster drive, honestly, for games I don't need them to be faster. I could live with a slightly longer loading screen. It's not a big enough difference that I care. And then my programs drive is kind of the same reason. It don't need to be faster. I really don't have a problem with programs loading slow either. They load up faster than the drive will actually need. For instance, like for the drive speed, though it does slow down things in many cases, when it comes to loading programs such as Steam, it's really not slowing it down. Photoshop, not slowing it down. Premiere, not slowing it down. Premiere and all that loads slower than what the drive runs anyway. So it doesn't change anything. I'm still alive. I know I'm joining the play, but I don't know anything else that's actually going on. I know he's not on screen. There he is. That's not what I thought I was gonna see. What the hell? Josh, come on now. You're a little weird over there, but you ain't gonna be that kind of weird. Yeah, I'd be surprised too, Estelle. Someone sent the screenshot. What'd they send me? The Shark movie was beautiful. Well, yeah, it's beautiful. It is a very pretty movie. Toei Animations did an amazing job on the movie, even though it takes place in the middle of Sharp. Is that the picture? Oh, and powerful, yeah, because of the Witch Queen's flower. It's a great movie. For anyone who, yeah, it's really lost media in anime. It's most people probably wouldn't know it. There's a show called Ojo Majo Doremi. It really only got like one season in English, few seasons in other languages. English only got one season, and it's a season we don't talk about because 4Kids TV is who dubbed it and animated the English part, and they absolutely butchered it. I've watched both the 4Kids and the original and subbed. The subbed is not official, it's fan subbed only because Toei Animation doesn't want to subtitle it for some reason. So I think it's an amazing show. The show is old, don't get me wrong, it is very old. I watched it coming out when I was a kid, and I enjoyed it a little bit then. As I've grown older, of course, I've come to enjoy movies like that a lot more, or shows like that a lot more. And 4Kids, whenever they got it, it's like, I can tell you, we know why they got the show. They got the show because they wanted One Piece. Specifically, the show One Piece is what they wanted. And in the show One Piece, they also had to take on this show called Ojo Majo Doremi. They called it Magical Doremi, which was fine. They absolutely ruined a lot of, like, they changed the names, which made it even worse. Like, they changed the main character's name, which is normally just Doremi. Slept in their respective dormitories, sure. So, after they changed the main character's name from Doremi, they changed it to Dory. And then they changed the other two main characters of Aiko and Hazuki to Rayanne and Mirabelle. Now, they're American names, so it makes a little bit of sense. but what they did with how they really did it just kind of really messed it up. In fact, the only thing I liked is actually Aiko, which is Mirabelle's voice. Her voice actor did a decent job. I liked it. It fit the character very well. A lot of people don't like the voice actor though. I liked it. But that's how they ended up with One Piece. And then of course One Piece ended up becoming one of the largest shows in America, or largest animated shows because of it. So it did good for them. And then it got picked up by, I think, Toonami's, who picked up One Piece after that, which did a much better job than 4Kids did. And then same thing with like Pokemon. Whenever they picked up Pokemon, they had to pick up Yu-Gi-Oh too. And then after that, after they dropped Yu-Gi-Oh, and I think Cartoon Network picked up Yu-Gi-Oh after that. And Pokemon actually. 4Kids kept having Pokemon through the Hoenn region, so that's no. 4Kids got Johto. So it was after the Indigo Plateau. They got Johto because they took over the Pokemon after Cartoon Network dropped it after Kanto, which is Indigo. And they did some weird things there, and then they continued with Hoenn, and then Cartoon Network picked it back up and fixed a lot of it. I don't think they ever did Johto, though. I don't think Cartoon Network ever dubbed Johto. But it worked fairly alright in their way, but for them to take Pokemon, they had to pick up Yu-Gi-Oh! And then they dropped Yu-Gi-Oh! after they dropped Pokemon, and Cartoon Network picked it back up. Because that was there in... Okay, so that was the after Battle City, all the way up to the, I call it the Pharaoh's Rest, where the Pharaoh goes to sleep. Cartoon Network isn't who originally did it. It was actually 4Kids. And there's actually an entire arc that they created as well that was only on 4Kids, never on any other one. I think that was Capsule Monsters, though. So either Capsule Monsters or Dungeon Dice Monsters. I think it was Capsule Monsters. Because Dungeon Dice Monsters thing happened in the middle of Battle City. Either way. I keep ranting. Not really paying much attention to what's going on here. I'm bad about that, though. Been a long drive. Had to go look at one person's house that almost burnt down. Luckily it didn't. Fire alarm worked. Means my system worked as it should. And saved a lot of their property. I do mean a lot of their property. It didn't even really fully burn down the room the fire started in. It really just charred a lot of it. It's probably going to need a little bit of rebuilding, but not too bad at least. So it did what it was supposed to do and help them identify it and stop it before it got bad, which is good. We got cameras now that do way better than what they had. They just had a heat detector. I've got cameras that will detect the fire and notify people. But no one wants to pay for that yet. That's still pretty expensive. I wish people would buy stuff like that. More money. I mean, I know that sounds kind of greedy. Sounds like corporate greed and stuff. We're not a corporation. We're a small family company. But the more people spend with us, the better off we are, and the better we could take care of people. It's how we run our business. If we had the overhead to take care of people better, we would gladly do it. It's a matter of we can't give everything away for free, unfortunately. We really can't. We do our best to help everybody with as little cost to everybody as possible. And like there are times where I've had to give something away, not only for a warranty thing, but because they just had to have it and there was no way around it, and I wasn't going to ask them to pay more for something they had to have. So I just threw it in there with the rest of their stuff. Like there was, don't know who it is anymore. It's been quite a long time. In fact, I've had to do this one for quite a few people, where I was supposed to be there just to replace a camera or a sensor and had to run a whole new wire and didn't charge for a wire. There was times where I've had to replace power supplies I didn't charge them for because they had to have the power supply. But I was there for something that cost way less than a power supply and didn't charge it for the power supply. There was just no way around it. I can't be bothered. No, well, not bothered. I can't ask them to spend more money than what they were expecting to spend to start. We give them a quote. We're going to try to stay to that quote as best as possible. I don't want to come in pretty much say, okay, it's going to be this amount of money to get whatever you're wanting done, or fix whatever you need fixed, and then have to come back and be like, oh, we can't do it for that price anymore. We need to increase it by this much because of this part, and we can't always do that. Like, there are times where I know they can't afford it, and I'm not gonna just be like, oh well, I can't do that. It's my responsibility as a technician who signs off on it and is responsible and liable for anything that happens once I've left. That it works. It has to work. For example, had to contact one of our previous employees just the other day. We had a investigation startup where a gate that one of our employees last worked on. Huh? Okay. Sure. But because we were the last company that worked on it, they came and asked us. So, of course, he didn't work with us no more, so I had to reach out to him and contact him to figure out what he had done so I could prove that it wasn't his fault that the gate didn't open when it was supposed to open. And because I was able to, I've pretty much cleared him, so they're not going to be looking at him anymore. Actually, they weren't looking at him just like right away because I hadn't told them who did it. I just told them that it was one of our guys and I'd have to reach out to him, which is understandable. I'm just have to do my best. I don't want him to lose his license where he's at, or possible jail time in some cases, depending on the events. Like, for instance, if it was the house that caught fire, if the system hadn't gone off, whoever was the last person to touch it, which I don't know who exactly it was because I didn't see a name signed, but I also wasn't looking. So we have it signed off somewhere where someone last touched it. I think I know who it is, but I'm not. I don't want to say that for a fact because it could have been someone else. Could have been me for all I know. I could be wrong. But I look practicing the play. Ugh, Joshua in the back. But it's best that we cover all our bases while we keep record of everything. If the house had burnt down, and somebody had been injured, or even worse, whoever last touched it would be liable and could face jail time for it. So the job is quite, I wouldn't necessarily say intense, but it's quite important that everything is done correctly and very thoroughly. It's not a job anyone could do. Ruby Knight Julius. Why is it a girl? Okay. Why is it Estelle? I mean, don't get me wrong. Estelle should wear red, yes. Oh, it's nothing else for our beloved princess. Oh no. Azure Knight Oscar. Who would cleave a path through fate with their own hands. But at this moment, my words and her smile seem lost. Ruby Knight Julius. Has fear clutched your heart? Oscar. I should not be a dramatic reader. Alex hates when I do it, or Cassie, they both hate it. Azura Knight, Oscar. Why don't you just call him Blue? Yeah. Why don't you just call him Sapphire Knight? Okay, whatever. But what is this passion that pierces me to the quick? Pierces me to the... What? Though I have no wishes to fight you again, it would seem that I am left with little choice. Don't do it! Before the storm, by the name of revolution, should claim us both. Take up your sword, and we shall let fate decide. Yes, and may the goddess above see our spirits as they truly are. Come then, let it be done. Indeed. Oh, come on. Ugh. This reminds me, I'm writing another D&D. No, right now y'all have probably seen the video, or actually the stream where we did the first D&D session of the new Dungeon Master. And I'm the next one, so I've started writing one. I mean, I was already writing one before he started, so. But it deals with the goddess. It deals with a lot of changes in the D&D world. Simplified and complexing, so many of it. Now this is one really long cutscene that I feel like most of this episode has been. Like, it is 46, we are 46 minutes in. And I swear I've played probably 10 minutes out of this entire thing. Everything else has been dialogue. Hmm. The 100 Days War. The war that lasted only 100 days. So how old is Estelle if 10 years ago was the 100-Day War? Was Estelle alive in the 100-Day War? I'm pretty sure she's like 16? That would make her 6 when the 100-Day Wars ended, or at least around that time. I mean, she would have lived through it. So, if they act like the 100-Day War was long time ago, but it's clearly only 10 years ago. I haven't seen Joshua act yet. I've only seen him dress up. Kind of weird. That's because he's a spy. Maybe, I don't know. Probably. I haven't seen the show. There's a show about this. I don't know if it covers only Trails in the Sky or if it covers all the others as well. I think there's a few shows. Or movies or something like that. But I do know there's something to do with him and the other side. Don't think he's bandits. I think he's Empire? Or whatever the other country is. I think that's where he's from. I can't quite remember. Oh. This seems rather risque. Can I just get out of the cutscene? I would love to. Yeah, don't call him boss. He might not like that. Okay. I went to cafeteria. Can I please get out of cutscene? I need to end the episode. Oh, good, I'm out of cutscene. Only two of us. Till then, I hope everybody has enjoyed this, and we will see you in the next time. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and call this one here. It's got a few other things I need to get done tonight, so I wanted to at least record one. So, I know it's only one. Kind of crazy, ain't it? So, but until then, hope everybody has enjoyed this, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.